Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Purple Sector Podcast. And today we're doing our qualifying reaction, and what a qualifying it was.
That's true. It's been absolutely crazy the last hour. I've been jumping up and down, losing my head. My name's Isa,
And I'm Yusuf.
and this is our reactions and our
reactions to the Monaco GP qualifying. We're also going to stack up the points because yesterday we predicted what was going to happen in qualifying and the race. So we're going to see what our points are.
yeah. So what we did yesterday was we did a 1, 2, 3 for qualifying. But first, before we do that, let's just get into the
What happened? Yeah.
what happened, because it was absolutely crazy. And I've always absolutely loved Monaco. It's been the
Qualifying is
absolutely crazy.
yes.
Like
And it is so crucial.
and the car, and I think the best thing about it is that it's about the driver itself, or especially around Monaco. The car doesn't make as much difference. Like Verstappen, Alonso, Leclerc, 1, 2, 3, absolutely brilliant. It's all down to it's just they're absolutely brilliant driving skills.
Yeah. Obviously, and you can see the stats show how crucial it is because the last since 1996, I think it was, the top three who've qualified in the top three have won the race. That's an amazing.
Yeah, and the stat
stat.
was out of the 68 Grand Prix that have been hosted at the Monaco. I think it's 58 of them have been won by the
Wow.
front row. I think it's the front row. Yeah, or it might be the top three. That's absolutely crazy. So yeah, obviously it's really important. Verstappen on pole and Alonso second.
Yeah,
And for a moment, I was thinking that he was going to be on pole. It was absolutely amazing.
Went crazy because he set such a good lap.
Yeah, it was absolutely brilliant.
Verstappen who could have set a lap after him.
Yeah, so it was crazy because he went above Ocon, who wow, Ocon came out of nowhere, and there was a lot of that, just absolutely.
There was a lot of people setting provisional poles.
Yeah, like there was people who was coming, like drivers coming out of nowhere, normal midfield teams, and this is why Monaco's so amazing in qualifying, especially because it's not about the car, it's just about the driver. Like a single corner can change the whole thing, and so like Sonoda Q1, he went pole. Yeah, he finished Q1 on pole in
It's not
first.
provisional pole, I don't think.
No, you call it. Yeah, you call it first. Yeah,
He was first.
He came first, and then Lando Norris setting amazing times. Albon third in Q1. Yeah, it was absolutely crazy.
A lot of people went for the risky strategy. So I think Albon went through like something crazy, like 2 or 3 sets just in Q1, and that's why he was so fast.
Yeah, it was a pretty crazy thing. But now we're going to be digesting it all. We'll be going through absolutely everything. And
I'm still recovering.
Yeah, we'll start in Q1 then. So looking at Q1, Sonoda on pole. Sorry, not on pole. On in first at the end of Q1. Absolutely crazy. Albon in third, and then Alonso. I think he finished sixth, but he didn't go out for another lap.
Yeah.
At the end, Verstappen. I think he was second. Obviously, I can't remember now. After everything that happened in the next two sessions, everything that happened in Q1 is kind of gone a bit. I can't remember it as well. But so who went out? There was the two Hasses. Sure of that. Zhou Guanyu.
Zhou Guanyu, who set the fastest lap at one point.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, but it was towards the start that he'd set the fastest lap. I'm not sure who came 20th. Do you? Can't
I know
remember.
that Perez came 19th.
Oh no! Zhou was 19th. Perez 20th. And yeah, looking at that Perez crash. Yeah.
He
really
just went a bit too hot into turn one.
Opposite ends of the spectrum for Red Bull. 20th and first. Yeah, that's absolutely crazy. 20th, to be 20, have one driving 20th, one driving first.
Especially for Perez, it's going to be very hard because he's going to have to fight his way back up to the front.
Yeah, I don't think he's very happy.
That it's basically impossible to overtake her.
Yeah, and he just did an interview, in fact, with Sky Sports, and he was saying that he was incredibly disappointed in himself. And around Monaco, I think that of course he's going to be, because he won here last year. He's like you could say that he's a master of street tracks, and this was the Grand Prix. This was the race where his fight with Verstappen for the championship. This was like the race where he had the biggest chance of closing that gap of 14 points down to 7. Or 6, with possibly a fastest lap. So I think it was really disappointing for him to have that crash. But yeah, he was just going way too hot into turn
way
one.
too hot. And I think it was also the Aston Martin because
It wasn't. No, it was an
an Aston,
Alpine.
yeah, an
Alpine.
Alpine, and they were
Gasly.
coming out the pits, and yeah, I think it must have distracted him.
It did distract him. He just went straight
Yeah.
into the corner. And what happened? What happened was he just kind of lost it, and it ended his qualifying completely. I think it was rear left. Rear left
It
went.
was rear left, and I think the front left as well took a bit of a hit.
Yeah, it was a real hit. There was a lot of debris everywhere, and that for me, I was like watching it, and I thought, oh my god, that's Verstappen. And I was getting so
You must have got
excited, right?
happy,
Yeah,
yeah.
and then I realized it was Perez. I was like, no, because I want a good championship more than anyone. And if Verstappen goes out, Perez being how good he is, he could have, he could have got a pole position if he hadn't crashed. It would have
Yeah.
been absolutely brilliant. But yeah, I do think that the championship, with Verstappen being on pole, it's not looking as exciting as it probably was after Miami.
Did the Mercedes get through to Q3?
Yeah, both of them were in
Oh
Q3.
right, yeah.
Yeah, both of them were in Q3. So I mean, so let's talk about Mercedes then.
Piastri did
Oh, go on.
Piastri get knocked out?
No,
Piastri
Piastri was
didn't get into
16th,
the
didn't it? Yeah,
lead.
yeah.
Yeah.
Piastri was 16th, and I think Norris.
Norris is
I'm
10th,
not. I'm not sure about
10th or 10th.
Norris. I wasn't sure about Norris in
Yeah, there was
Q1.
he swapped positions I think with Sonoda.
Um, I, no, I think Norris got through by the skin of his teeth or something
Yeah,
like that
but
in P15.
Mc,
Not 100% sure, but yeah,
no, but in the end, yeah, it was a Herculean effort by McLaren to fix the car.
yeah, to fix Lando's car and
Like
to get him out.
yeah,
Yeah,
because he
absolutely brilliant.
completely wrecked the suspension.
Yeah, in that crash at back, he managed to get going. So McLaren again, one is kind of like Red Bull, one opposite ends of the spectrum. One in Q3, one in Q1,
Yeah,
making it to Q1.
Piastri isn't
Piastri 16th.
he isn't doing very well. I don't think it's very daunting to come
No,
through
no,
for.
I do think that Piastri he's had an amazing season so far. But Monaco, it's
Really,
Monaco. Yeah, yeah,
he's had a lot of.
no, he got into Q3 in Saudi Arabia, and that
That
was
doesn't really matter
yeah,
because
I
in the
guess
end,
no, yeah,
it
turn one.
it doesn't matter where you qualify. It matters where you finish.
No, but yeah, he's a good driver. He's a really fast driver. So he's brilliant, is Piastri. But I think this race, coming to Monaco, is daunting. It's scary. We said it yesterday in our preview for the Grand Prix for the weekend. But yeah, unfortunately, P16 for him out by the skin of his teeth. It was actually really close in the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think.
Yeah, so unfortunately he was out. But Lando made it to Q3. Brilliant by them, McLaren and engineers got him out. I think he was in between eight. He was eighth or tenth, eighth
I
to
think
tenth.
it was.
Because
Him
Sonoda was
and
ninth.
him and Sonoda were trading positions.
Yeah, because I remember Sonoda was ninth, so he
But
was
there is
either
a
eighth or tenth.
video of one of the McLarens. I think it was Lando getting impeded on his flying lap by a Ferrari. I don't know if that was
Not sure about
yeah,
that.
I don't know if that was the flying lap that he managed to get in. That maybe made him get down into 20th, but I don't know.
Yeah, but unfortunately for McLaren, one out in Q3, Piastri. But yeah, Norris, absolutely brilliant getting into Q3. It just shows why he's such an amazing driver and he's as exciting as he is. So,
Mercedes,
yeah, looking at
Mercedes
Mercedes
with
then,
their new pods.
didn't impress as much as we
Yeah,
probably thought that they would. Into Q3, both of them, I think that was kind of a relief when Hamilton was looking like he would be out in Q2, but he
yeah.
managed to make it through. It was a good lap from him. Obviously not amazing, but it was enough to get into Q3. And I think that it's the first race of these new, not regular, well, the upgrades that they brought. So I do think that it's not going to be amazing first race of the season. Sorry, first race of the upgrades. It's not going to be coming straight away. They're not going to be P1, P2
Yeah,
smashing it. So I do.
because they are playing a very big game of catch up.
Yeah, so I don't think that it's entirely their fault or the driver's fault because they got to get to grips with these upgrades. The car's quite different, and it's not just visually. It is really different.
Yeah, and it visually it looks a bit weird. I've kind of got used to the zero pod
Yeah,
Mercedes.
yeah.
So, but the thing is, they are playing 1.5 years worth of catch up because everybody else has had 1.5 years.
I think a couple of teams changed it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
of experience with
these new regulations
the
in their
side
cars.
pods, and they'll have learned to understand them. and Mercedes haven't had that, so I don't think they will be competitive.
Not
for
yet,
a
not
while.
yet.
Yeah,
But
maybe towards the tail end of the season they will be
Yeah.
better.
yeah, like last season.
Yeah, yeah.
But so I'm not sure exactly where they're positioned, but I think it might have been like P6 and P8 or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, around Monaco, that's obviously not amazing. Russell got the better of Hamilton on this one, so obviously, it's not amazing. Um, but we'll just have to see how they do in the race tomorrow. I do have high hopes, obviously, being a Mercedes fan myself. I do think that this new update or these new upgrades, they can do better than the zero pods, and I'm hoping that we'll see them at the front very soon, very soon.
Um,
Yeah. So then, just looking at just out of the teams that went
Alpine.
out in Q1.
Could we just talk about Alpine?
Oh yeah, go on.
Alpine were amazing. I think in both sessions they set provisional.
Yeah.
They went top for quite a while. I think Ocon went top for most of Q3.
Oh, Q3 Ocon's lap was
Yeah.
absolutely brilliant. Towards in those last few minutes, set fastest time of anyone, and I don't think that anyone beat him until Leclerc and Alonso came along.
Yeah.
They were absolutely brilliant, set fast. But Ocon, you can't, full credit to him.
Yeah.
That was absolutely brilliant.
And
That
he'll
lap
be
time.
starting P4 or P5, I think.
P4.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
So that's a good turnout for Alpine.
Yeah, and Gasly as well into Q3. They were looking really, really strong. P4 for Ocon. I mean, who knows? Possibly, if the Monaco curse continues for Leclerc, it could be a possible podium for the Alpines. That would be absolutely amazing. I'd love that.
Who else went out in
Q1. So the two Hasses were out, both
Yeah.
Magnussen and Hulkenberg. Unfortunate for them. There's not really much to say though. It was a bit poor. They've been under the radar for the whole weekend, to be honest. So yeah, not much to say about them. Unfortunate, both out.
Obviously, this race is a turnaround in the season because obviously everybody was going to bring their upgrades to Imola, but because that got sadly cancelled, everybody's had to bring their upgrades to Monaco, which isn't always ideal, but they've had to do it. So maybe Alpine do have pace and they'll keep that pace for the rest of the year. We don't know.
Yeah, Monaco's like quite.
It might not be.
It's not a track where you can really tell which car's the fastest. It's all about the driver. So
and we also saw there was also about the last person to set their lap was doing a lot better than somebody else.
Yeah, the track evolution, absolutely crazy.
Lots of it.
The whole rubbering and everything. Yeah, like just one person sets a lap, another person comes along 10 seconds later sets a faster lap. Like the track evolution was absolutely, it was unbelievable. And what it's like looking at Q1 when Perez he crashed out, his lap didn't actually look that bad, and like you could see him getting through to Q2, and then obviously not competing in Q2, and starting 15th. But the track evolution was just so high that he plummeted all the way down to 20th.
Yeah. Aston Martin, what a lap that Fernando Alonso set.
Yeah, obviously not the best, but
he
it
was driving like an absolute animal.
Amazing.
And he said that himself. He was driving like an animal. Yeah,
I think it was the best he probably could have hoped for. Not hoped for because he could have been, but I think it was the best he could have done. He set an amazing lap. Unfortunately, Verstappen is just an absolute monster. He's a superhuman.
Verstappen he was down by about
2 tenths, 2 whole tenths going into the last sector.
The shortest sector in Formula One, and he still managed to claw back
and get those 2 tenths back, and he went on to pole. Absolutely amazing from Verstappen. I mean,
Aston Martin were celebrating. They were already.
No, but you could see them in the garage after Verstappen took pole. They were, you could still see they were really pleased. They were chuffed with the P2. They were laughing it off and everything. So yeah, Aston Martin, they'll be fully happy with that. But Lance Stroll, not great.
But he did have a problem. Apparently,
he did have to. And then there was this whole.
He missed the weighbridge. So what happens is you have to. Apparently, I think in every session you have to get weighed. But he didn't weigh his car, and
he missed it.
Yeah, he missed it, and then they made changes to his car.
Yeah, so there was a lot of drama and speculation going on about that in the background in Q2.
Yeah, and then he had to abort his lap. I don't know why. It might have been a problem. It might not just have been allowed. So we don't know about that yet.
Yeah, so unfortunately for Lance, out P14, I think that's really poor looking at Alonso, because obviously the car had potential, right? The car did have potential.
Lance in Miami as well. Was it Miami or back?
Miami, poor qualifying in Miami.
Very, very bad. So he hasn't been doing too well.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate that that happened for Lance. Um, so looking at Lance, just we're not really sure what happened with that. What do you think happened?
I think he just had a problem. We don't really know. Obviously, he he might they might just be saving tires. You
No,
never
no.
know.
I think it was because of the whole Weybridge thing. I think that might have been a bit distracting for him. And yeah, there's quite a bit of drama about that, and there might actually be a grid drop for him. I mean, we're doing this right
It
after
was
Q3.
only noted. We
Yeah,
don't
yeah, it was noted.
generally if when they note it, they give a penalty or whatever quite quickly afterwards. So we don't really know.
But so basically, we're doing this like right after Q3. Q3 finished about 10 minutes ago, right? At the time of recording, so we're not 100% sure what's happening with Lance. He may be getting a good drop. We're not 100% sure, but we will wait. We're gonna wait and see. It's possible. I don't think that it will happen, but you never know.
I think Christian Horner might actually be a bit happy that Perez is last because this kind of it makes sure that there's no real title fight anymore. And
It
if there
keeps
was, yeah,
neutrality.
yeah,
It's still a bit neutral because they're saying that they're neutral to their drivers. So,
but
but like
and this,
they don't want this to happen. Like it's
yeah,
clear that they don't
they
want
don't want
a civil war.
Perez, yeah,
They don't want a civil war like with like Ricardo and Verstappen. What happened there? They don't
yeah.
they don't want that to happen again. So I think that if I think for them, the sooner Verstappen gets a big lead in the championship, the better. Mm. So touching on Alpine, just going back to Alpine. So Gasly in Q3, I think he was in the middle pack of Q3, fifth, like sixth or seventh, I think. But Ocon, amazing, amazing,
Yeah.
absolutely amazing, fourth place,
Also, Sonoda, he went.
fastest in Q1,
Yeah, he set a monster over that.
in Q1, and then he ended up finishing P9
P9,
in
yeah.
Q3,
De Vries got
and
knocked out.
De Vries got knocked out in Q2. So for Alpha Tauri, I think they were
It's
pretty
a decent
pleased.
day.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's a
quite
decent
decent for
day.
them. P9 for Sonoda, and for De Vries, I'm not sure. I think he was P13 or P12. Really
I
unfortunate.
think no, I think that's his best ever qualifying.
Yeah,
It is
to be
actually. It is
honest.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see how he does in the race, and we'll see how Sonoda does. But again, unless there's absolute chaos tomorrow, or DNF strategy blunders, I don't think the grid won't be changing that much. So how it is right now is possibly how it's gonna stay. I mean, obviously we hope not. We want lots of overtakes, but yeah, it's looking like an exciting prospect, especially in the mid pack and even towards the front as well. Alonso and Verstappen. That could be an absolute titanic battle between Alonso and Verstappen, right? Like, can you
My
imagine?
main hope is that Alonso jumps
Yeah,
Verstappen.
like, can you imagine Alonso going into turn one, gets Verstappen right around the outside, down the inside, who knows? Gets into Q1 and gets into P1, defends for his life for every single lap, manages to hold off the Red Bull of Verstappen and the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc. Like that would be absolutely amazing for Alonso. Like imagine 30, what is it? 33rd win? Would it
33rd
be?
win.
33rd win.
So,
Absolutely brilliant.
so what he said was because the Grand Prix is going to be on the
28th.
28th of the 5th. What's 28 plus 5?
33.
And
I think
if
I had
he
to
win,
think for. I don't know why, but I
if
thought about
he
that for a bit.
if he wins this Grand Prix, how many Grand Prix will he have won?
Oh, okay. Yeah, we get the gist of it. Yes,
33.
yeah, we get it.
33.
Yeah.
Yes. So let's just go over our points.
Oh, yeah. So going
So
back to our predictions of what we did
I
yesterday.
predicted Verstappen, which was right. Alonso, which was right. Perez,
Which
which
was
couldn't have been more wrong.
yeah, yeah, completely wrong there. So that
So
was
I
his
have
quali
2
predictions for 1 to 3.
points.
So he
Isa
gets
predicted Verstappen, which was right. Number P2, Alonso,
and
which
let
was
me do the
right.
third one. Charles Leclerc, right
Which
as
was
well.
right.
I'm the absolute oracle right now. Oracle Sufi, yeah, Oracle Sufi Racing. Yeah, that was absolutely brilliant. Um, yeah.
And then
So
for the race, I predicted Alonso, Verstappen, Perez.
we'll see how
So
that goes.
unless Perez has an absolutely monster drive, that's not going to come true. Isa predicted Alonso, Verstappen, Leclerc. So
Ooh.
yeah,
I mean, I'm certainly looking
that's going to
better
be
right now.
fun. I predicted 30 overtakes. So that will be fun if that comes true. And I think
it's probably looking closer to 30 than it's the 5, which is what I
yeah,
predicted, to be honest,
5.
though.
Yeah. So right now it's 3-2 to Isa, and
Well, yeah.
we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Yeah, so just any last points that you want to say?
I really hope my prediction of 30 overtakes comes true, and the number of overtakes is higher than that. I really hope that.
For me, Alonso, bang, turn 1, ahead of Verstappen. We're
Still
going to
there.
see Alonso staying in P1, just defending like an absolute monster. He gets into P1 and he wins the Grand Prix. I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for, unless you're a Charles Leclerc fanboy. In which case, I hope that your sanity is kept intact, because I think that Monaco curse is going to continue, and
So do I.
Esteban Ocon will get a podium tomorrow. Can't wait to see that happen.
Imagine if Esteban Ocon wins. That would be fun.
2 wins in his career. That would be absolutely brilliant.
Yes.
But
So
yeah, we'll see you tomorrow for the
Monaco Grand Prix.
reactions. So what will it be? Reactions and review for the Monaco Grand Prix, which will be soon after the race will have finished. And we'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.